Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Tommy Chan, drummer for the Calgary band Trench. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! Well, what's going on, Caffeinated Crew? Today I'm joined by Tommy, drummer of the band Trench from Calgary, holding it down. Wild Rose. Is it the Wild Rose City? I don't know why it's called Wild Rose.
Yeah, Wild.
That's sick.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
Very good, man. Stoked to be here. Very, very honored to be a guest on your show. I've seen like some of the people that you've had, and I like the idea of like having a conversation over coffee. Like that, it's a very chill environment. So yeah, super grateful. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you. First off, the first time I saw Trench was on their most recent. Y'all came through with Misery Signals and End.
Yeah.
I had listened to y'all before. And I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be crazy. And y'all start playing, and that shit live sounds so heavy. It's just like this wall of like energy and down-tuned guitars, and it's almost like, I don't know, it's disorienting. But I was moshing super hard because I was like, damn, we got to put up. Montreal, where you at? And so like I'm swinging back, and I swing back too close to one of my friends.
Oh no.
And this knuckle smashes against his elbow bone.
Oh no.
And so I fractured my hand on his elbow.
Oh no way.
Yeah. So, and as a drummer, I think we had to cancel like 4 shows between the bands that I play in just because of that one little mosh injury. But it was worth it.
I feel extremely honored that you broke something during our set. Like
it like awoke something within me, you know. It was like an unbridled need to swing. So
right
super happy that we've come full circle now, and that I get to tell you this tale of woe and heartache.
Love it, man. I'm gonna tell that to my bandmates, and they're gonna be hyped that we are surprised that we have that kind of violence during our set.
It's maybe even not what y'all expected. It was just like, it was like as soon as y'all started playing, I was like, this shit deserves it. And so I just like started going for it, right? I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I had to just clear the air, let you know that Trench broke my hand. So let's start it off right. What are you drinking on your side?
Oh man, I feel like a little bit ashamed of what I'm actually drinking right now, just because I didn't really have time to stop at my usual place. But this is actually like Nescafe instant coffee.
Wow, that's a first.
Yeah. Just black. Yeah, I know. I do like to drink coffee. I'm not really like a connoisseur when it comes to coffee. I mostly drink it just to like wake me up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like people say Tim Hortons, like if you're from here, and Tim Hortons is like mediocre, but to me, I'm like, when I drink coffee, I'm like, well, it all tastes bitter, but it does the job. It wakes me up, and you know, I don't mind the taste. If I'm looking for like taste wise, it's almost like an Americano, you know, with like 1 cream, 1 sugar type thing or whatever. But yeah, I'm very easy, very basic.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people, like even in my family, most people drink coffee in the morning, and it's always been like Nescafe or Folgers or something. So as a kid, when I started having like a little bit of coffee, it was always that. So there is like a nostalgia there. And I don't know if you've seen those recent commercials from Nescafe where they're like trying to make it more like artisanal looking.
Oh, cool.
Where it's like it brings families together, and they're like families all over the world are like making the coffee in the way that they do. I'm like, oh, you know, that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. But then it's like I take that first sip, and it is not what I remember it to be.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, like grew up on this. This is what I was.
Yeah.
Until I discovered something else.
Yes, until you like refine your palate. But there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. Like Liam from Cancer Bats affectionately refers to instant coffee as headache water.
Headache water. That's all.
So I think that that's a great term. But A lot of people still like it. I talked to somebody recently that their family is from like El Salvador,
Mhm.
and so they grew up drinking like instant coffee. So for them, it's extremely nostalgic, and it makes them feel connected to their family, like back in El Salvador and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
So it's really nice. So, flavors and nostalgia and memories all together. Just no judgment.
Yeah, straight up, man. Instant coffee. That's the new.
So there is third wave instant coffee too now. Like some of the roasters like in Montreal have started doing it,
Yeah.
where it's like really good coffee beans. The process is terrible. It's so hard to do, but basically they make instant coffee and it tastes really good.
Oh man.
So
I love
might be
Montreal. Just
we might have Nescafe might be on the run, man. They might be needing to compete.
sign me up. I'm down.
I'll send you. So we'll do. It'll be the next thing is Trench instant coffee.
Yo, let's go.
That would be hard. I'm drinking a coffee from Jungle. It's called Karol Ortega. It is a washed Colombian coffee.
Yummy.
Yes, very good. It's classic, like a classic Colombian taste, but it's got like tropical fruit notes with some watermelon and some caramel. So,
Dude, that's a coffee? Like what?
yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you. See, Montreal, y'all love Montreal. When you come back,
Oh,
I'll
game over.
I'll put you on.
Oh.
I'll show you what it's about.
Please, man. That's all I'm gonna drink every day, first thing in the morning. Yes, please.
This is even like a more classic style. Like the caramel does come through. Like it's that nutty caramel taste.
Yeah.
But it has a bit of like melon. I don't know. It's good.
Nice.
So it's always good to drink like a comfortable coffee. You know what I mean?
I agree. This is how like much I know about coffee is that I thought for the longest time I was drinking dark coffee because I thought it had the most caffeine in it to wake up. And then like literally 3 weeks ago, someone was like, "No, man, you want to drink like the lighter stuff." And I was like, "What? Really? It just it doesn't taste like it wakes me up enough." But clearly like halfway through the cup, you're just like, "Whoa." I'm like all of a sudden really aware and awake, and this is very surprising. And then now I know the difference where I'm like, if I feel over caffeinated, I'll just go for the dark stuff. And I'm like, oh wow. For once, like I don't need to have a second cup and then realize that I'm like freaking out because I'm like way too caffeinated, right? All of a sudden your skin's buzzing and then you're like, oh my God, Red Bull, anybody need a Red Bull? Like talking really fast.
So that the whole dark roast, light roast thing is such a common misconception. I don't know where this came from. Like what coffee brand in the 40s was like, dark roast, get you caffeinated. Like I have no idea who did this. If anybody knows the history of this, send me a message, please, because it's weird.
Yes.
But yeah, when I found out that light roast coffee is more caffeinated because heat, the more you heat and like cook the coffee when you're roasting it, the more caffeine is extracted from it, like within the roaster.
Crazy.
So weird.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Seriously. Mind-blowing.
That's why. Have you had cold brew coffee?
like iced coffee type kind of thing?
So cold brew it's like you basically take the coffee and you steep it in water for 12 hours to 24 hours, like a tea, but like a long, slow brew tea.
Oh.
So you do it like overnight, and there's no heat that is in when you brew the coffee. Is only room temperature water.
No.
And so it doesn't lose any of the caffeine content, that's in quotes, by when you like brew it in a dripper or, make espresso or something. It actually has the full caffeine from when it was roasted to when you drink it.
And you drink it cold?
You just put it on ice.
Oh, see, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's smooth because it doesn't have this acidic kind of bite that brewed coffee does.
Yeah.
It's more chocolatey.
Yeah.
A lot of people prefer that.
Man, that's like a nice afternoon delight because I thought like you'd always had to get either iced coffee or like hot coffee, regardless of those are the only two ways to order it. So man, you're changing the game with what you're telling me. Like I might be like hooked on coffee after this conversation's over, man. It's like, dude, I'm gonna message you later and be like, finally tried cold brew, man. You were right.
You just gotta just run to Phil and Seb, be like, do you guys have cold brew?
Yeah. Seriously.
Do you have like a favorite go-to drink at the cafe that you usually go to?
Um, Not really. It's just usually just Starbucks, like
Hmm.
typical coffee.
You just get like the drip, like Pike's Place or whatever at Starbucks.
Yeah, like the Americano is pretty much.
Hmm.
It's so weird because I'm just like, I don't know. Can I just get a medium? Like I don't know what the difference between like a grande or the the name of the small one. Yeah, I just be like medium your espresso coffee type thing, sure. And they're like, okay, yeah, sure, number five.
Number five. Is there numbers now? I haven't been to a Starbucks in like 4 years.
It's been a while for me because I'm working at a hospital right now, so they have like you pour your own types Starbucks thing on it.
Okay, yeah.
I normally get, but yeah, man, yeah, when like second cup or Starbucks, it's been a while since I've gone there and be like order anything that's not an Americano.
Well, at least you know, like a lot of people don't know Americano between like coffee, like drip coffee, like they don't know that it's espresso and stuff like that. So you have some knowledge there. It's good.
Sweet.
You
Not
know what you like, right? That's all that matters.
pretty much. I talk to my buddies who love coffee and be like, what should I get? What like if I'm looking for something that wakes me up, but still kind of mellow, like and then Americano, and then that's the Starbucks thing. So
Yeah.
I've only ordered second cup like a couple times, but they like to me, I don't know if they do anything like specialize in any like sort of coffee thing, like how Starbucks has their Americano thing, right?
They seem more like smoothie inclined.
Yes.
Last time I went to one,
Yeah.
which was also a while ago, but I had a friend that was working there and she was like, it's mostly smoothies.
Hmm.
So, and she wanted to make coffee,
Oh
not smoothies.
no.
But yeah, I haven't been to a second cup in a while either. I don't think I've ever tried their coffee.
Oh, are you a Timmy's guy?
So I like Tim's in certain circumstances. Sometimes I do get the craving for like a double double.
Yeah.
I think that it's good, but actually this is weird and this sounds like heresy, but McDonald's has better coffee than Tim
Yes.
Hortons.
Very underestimated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think what happened is a few years ago, do you know Van Hoot, like the other coffee? They're more in Montreal and Quebec.
It sounds
It's
familiar. Yeah.
it's like a dude with like glasses and I don't know. But he Van Hoot and Tim Hortons was bought out by Keurig.
Oh, cool.
And so they're basically under Keurig's coffee brands. Like it's Keurig and Dr. Pepper own Tim's now. That's why everybody's like, it changed. And it's like, that's because it's not what it was before. It's under Keurig. And McDonald's has like their own coffee roasting now. It's cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I noticed that too when I went to McDonald's, how they have like a specific brewing side, and I was like, this is getting bougie.
McCafe. Ooh,
Seriously,
so
stepping it
fancy.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and they do the dollar coffees, which I don't know how they're doing that ethically. Like how they're ethically getting all this coffee
Yeah.
for $1. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're in a pinch,
Seriously. Yeah. They're like the Walmart of like coffee prices. When you need one,
it's there.
yeah, exactly. And it's not the worst.
It's not the worst.
Yeah.
Mostly because I live downtown in Montreal, there's like, I could like throw a rock and hit like 4 cafes, like local spots that have like really, really good coffee.
Yeah.
And so I usually go to, there's one down the street called Cafe Leo. And it's super good, but you like walk in and it looks like an art gallery, you know?
Please.
It's like, everything's white and there's like local art, like, installations hung and stuff like that. And they always do like cool seasonal drinks. Like they had a pumpkin spice latte that was really good and it was all homemade.
Dangerous.
That's it.
Oh man.
It's like when you drink alcohol that has a lot of sugar in it, so you don't actually know how alcoholic it is.
Yeah.
That's the pumpkin spice latte.
Oh man. I'd be a regular.
You have no idea how much coffee is in it. But yeah, that's a great spot. But there's all over Montreal. Like I said, next time y'all come through, man, I'm gonna have to take y'all. There's a place right around the corner from where Foof's is.
Yeah.
Called Pista. That is like one of the best coffee spots
Oh man,
with the best coffee beans in Montreal.
really? So
Yeah,
one of
and
those,
it's nice inside.
is it one of those places you walk in and it just smells so good that like you almost wake up from it? You're like, oh, dude, I can't wait to get one of these.
On the street, you can smell it.
What?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, we'll do a little coffee crawl next time y'all come through.
Oh, so down. Yes, please.
Merry Trenchmas.
Merry Trenchmas to you, brother.
I wish I could have been there in Calgary. I really want to go.
Dude, yeah, it was a good time. Our first one. We as a band been doing Trenchmas like just like a fat family gathering type thing for a long time, and then this year we decided we're like, what do you guys think about like actually doing a show where we can like have the bands that we want to play, and then do some actual like Christmas stuff at a venue.
Mhm.
We love doing that stuff, man. Like we love each other, so we anything that we get an excuse to like celebrate, we were jumping on it.
Did y'all decorate the stage or anything?
Oh yeah, there's like yeah, but Christmas decorations everywhere. And the funny thing is that we're talking about this right now, and the boys are coming over later today to actually celebrate like our Trenchmas today, like where we're exchanging gifts and whatnot, and like having a feast and everything. So
nice.
yeah,
Did you cook something for the feast?
oh yeah, made some vegan mac and cheese, and then yeah we as a band we created this thing called trench rolls, which is pretty much like a chip, and you top it with whatever you want, like usually macaroni salad or something with a little bit of like cut tomatoes or green onions, and then you call that a trench roll. But pretty much a trench roll can be anything that you put together on a chip.
Like just a stack of food on a chip.
Yeah, pretty much. Rather than chip and dip, you're almost making a little like a nacho, but like a customized way with whatever we're serving that day.
Like a mini toast.
Yeah, exactly. So like we got some like vegan meatballs today, and a couple others, like bunch of other different snacks, and then we'll totally just like someone's gonna be like, yo, have you tried the meatball with a tater tot on top of this potato chip dipped in like chipotle sauce? And then we're gonna be like, what? No. And next thing you know, that's the new trench roll for 2022.
For 2022, it's yeah, it evolves.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true, man. Family tradition that we have.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if you and Tony used to do this, if y'all went out to like restaurants as kids, but where you basically see who can make the nastiest concoction.
Dude, seriously. I like my friends like sleepovers the next morning. I remember we had like a huge type of breakfast, like everything, eggs, bacon, and whatever. And I was just like, what do you, and for some reason there was mashed potatoes there. And I was like, what do you think? Eggo with mashed potato on it, with a little bit of gravy on it, and then put a sausage there and a bacon there, and then kind of just like wrap it up almost like a taco. And we got quite creative. Now it's funny that we did that as a kid, and here we are 35 still doing
full circle.
Yeah, exactly. That's never gonna end.
You just get a more elevated palate, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Hand me the bruschetta.
Yeah, seriously. What else you got in this cupboard here? All right.
I think I can make a red wine balsamic reduction for this.
Dude, straight up.
The merch that y'all did for the box with the beanie and the mug and the candle.
Yeah.
The candle was everything for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm very white girl in my taste. Did y'all sell out of the boxes?
I think we have one left.
We'll talk offline.
All right.
That's great. I'm happy to hear that everything went well. It as soon as I saw it announced and saw the merch on, I was like, fuck, this is so good. Like the branding is it's not just with you guys, it's not just the music. Like I know that you guys have the green. We'll talk about the green in a little bit. Yeah. But like when you go through like the Instagram and see the branding, it's just like you know exactly what you're looking at. As soon as something pops up, I'm like, oh, that's Trench. Before I even see the name, it's just like everywhere. So you guys are smart. Really good. Really good at branding too. So
appreciate it.
Well, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear everything was going well.
Thanks, man.
You play drums.
Yes.
What is the one piece of gear that you could not play without? Like if you had to play overseas, like at a festival kit or something like a backline, what's the one thing that you would like go to battle to not play without?
Well, I definitely need to bring my sample pad. That is like, so that's probably number one. But if say like I didn't have a sample pad, probably snare drum.
Hmm.
I feel like snare drum is just like everybody's like as a drummer, it's their personality, it's their sound, and like someone could have the exact same snare drum as you, but they could have it like tuned slightly different, and then some people can have it like cranked so tight that you didn't think was even possible to crank it, and it sounds nuts, and you're just like, whoa, like that's really sweet. So I feel like the snare drum is like a drummer's personality because it's the way that you hit it, the way that it sounds, the way that you tune it, and like it with Trench especially, like I feel like we have at least I think so, that we have like a specific snare sound per like record that we're doing. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, and then like when I stopped using the snares because I broke the rim, like it was a wooden rim on it, and yeah, and then it was discontinued, so they don't make that rim anymore. So now it's just like sitting on the shelf. So then I just had to get like another snare drum where I'd be like, okay, let's see how this one sounds. Like I've always wanted like this, like a pork pie snare or whatever, or a Ludwig snare, and
Hmm.
see how these sound. And I'm just like, okay, that's sick. That's pretty much the pitch that I want. And then now it's just a matter of like laying it down on the track and see how it sounds with everything else.
So what are you on now, snare
Uh,
wise?
pork pie.
Is it the BOB?
No, it's the pig squealer. It's like
Oh yeah.
a 14 by 8, or
Wow.
is it 14? Yeah, 14 by 8, I think. Or no, 14 by 7, which is still pretty deep.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's got a nice like high pitch ping to it, which is nice without having like gnarly overtones, which seems to be the case sometimes. But or some people like that. But yeah, I'm
Hmm.
always like eventually like, as a drummer, I like to like want to build like a huge collection of snares, just kind of like
Yeah.
tones. How when you listen to a Deftones record, you're like, dude, that snare, like it almost like makes you like twitch every time he like hits it because you're just like, oh, like so good.
The paint count, the paint can sound.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like my constant goal as a drummer is to find the snare that will go the tightest,
Yeah,
I think. It's just because I want to hear what that sounds like on the drum kit. Yeah.
yeah,
Like how many snare samples are layered to make that sound?
straight up. I feel you.
Would be good. Would be good to know. Well, that's cool. Isn't the squealer is black steel, right?
It's mine's maple.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if they had done because they had done a steel, but I couldn't remember if the squealer was still because my old drummer like from years ago used he used a 13 by 5.5
yeah,
squealer.
nice.
It's
Yeah,
the vent. It's got like all the vents in it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
It always sounded
mine doesn't have the vents on it. Mine's just
okay.
like, yeah, just straight maple like hardwood, and then
Oh, nice.
yeah, and not even like die cast rims or anything. Just super. I'm really shocked how simple the snare is, and it sounds like crushing. And the funny thing, before I got that snare, I was only using 13-inch snare drums. I don't know
Okay.
why. It's just like for some reason those were usually available, and for the cost of it, I was like, well, why not? Plus, smaller diameter, you get a little bit higher pinch of that
Hmm.
thing too, right? So yeah. So this is my
That's
first
like
14 for a long time.
when I saw it in photos, I thought it was it looks so similar to a Ludwig Classic.
Yeah.
So I thought that it may have been like a Ludwig Classic or even the Stadium, which had a different kind of set of lugs on it, but
Yeah.
it sounds so good.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of.
Oh yeah, yeah. It sounds great. And I have like an old Ludwig. I think it's a Stadium, but it's like it's a 6 by 14.
Yeah.
But the rims started pitting and falling off,
Oh.
so I have to find rims for it now. But yeah, I love those maple snares. Always sound great.
Oh yes. Love it.
What are your favorite brands?
For drum wise,
Yeah, like what sticks?
I do like ProMark a lot, but I'm not very picky either. Like growing up as a drummer, and I was kind of like it didn't come from a rich family or anything. I used like whatever I possibly could, like
Yeah.
no name stuff like that. And then whenever I got my hands on like Vader drums, I was like, finally, oh God, these are worth $13 instead of like $5 no name brands because in a bucket that you get from on the Quaid or
The,
something like that.
the musicians on stage or whatever, the musicians percussion plus or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, like drumstick wise, like if I had to pick one, like ProMark is my favorite. But I do like Vic Firth. I do like Vader a lot, and cymbals. I'm usually Zildjian all the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I used to work at a music shop, and we did Sabian, Pisces, and Zildjian. And for some reason, I tried everything, and I was just like, man, Zildjian for the price and for like the finish and everything of what you want. They seem to last the longest too, and
Mm-hmm.
I love it. But also, that's another thing that I'm not picky either. Like I like Meinl cymbals. If I had the
Yeah,
money, if I had $800
dude.
for like 16-inch crash, I'd all the way. Same with Pisces, but.
Yeah. Mino is definitely the rich man symbol.
Dude, yeah, for real.
It's crazy.
But you can hear it. It's like hitting it's like the Mercedes of cymbals, right? Heisty, like all of those are just like luxury.
Yeah. Which Peisty, like for certain genres, Peisty sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Like for country or like classic rock and stuff like that, that's that sound. But I think if you're gonna go more like, heavy hitting and forward sound, you want Meinl. It's just
Yeah,
the best.
I hear you.
Which I can't afford Meinl either. So I'm playing Sabian.
Hey, Sabian is made by Zildjian too, or Zildjian's made by Sabian as well. They're just two different like names, I guess. But yeah, I like Sabians as well.
Yeah, but like you said, it does come down to money. It's like I can't as much as I want to pay $800 for a ride.
Yeah. And then you're gonna break it in like a year or two, right? And then you're gonna have to get another $800 cymbal. I feel like it's less heartbreaking when you're buying like a $400 crash and then it breaks like 2 years down the road, and you're like, okay, well, it's like a $200 cymbal each year type thing. So it's an investment, reasonable one. Meinl, it's like I feel like I would never want to play like if I was buying a $800 cymbal, I'd be like, you guys want to start a jazz band where like I don't have to hit so hard?
Just play like Benny Greb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't even use sticks. You just hit it with your hands.
Yeah, exactly. And all your gear will last forever.
I wonder if the sandblasting helps with anything.
Straight up.
Have you tried those Los Cabos sticks?
Yeah, I actually have some too that I practice like just by my practice pad and stuff like that. And sometimes when you can buy like a 6-pack of sticks for like $30, man, like you just gotta like you can never go wrong with having like spares kicking around like your jam space or on tour if you break your main ones or whatever, right?
Yeah, I was always a ProMark Oak.
Sick.
But now they're like $23 a pair, I think.
Yeah.
So I had a friend who's endorsed by Los Cabos. He was like, try these. They're the red intense.
Oh, nice.
So it's red hickory, so it's a bit harder than like the white hickory.
Yeah.
And the intense size, it's like a 5B, but the shaft like is longer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so like extreme style, right?
Yeah, so I feel like I get more like leverage out of it, and I don't have to put as much effort behind it, so I don't end up breaking them as fast.
Exactly.
Because I'm not having to reach with my arm as much. I can just flick.
Yeah.
Right. So I found that it was so weird night and day because I've been playing with the ProMarks for like 20 years. I'm playing, and then the first time I tried these, it was like, I don't know, like my eyes had been open to some new like playing style. It was so weird.
It's true.
And they're $10 a pair.
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice. As soon as like they remind me of like the Vader Extreme, like 5Bs or 5As. It was just that little bit of length and a little bit of weight that you don't notice, but in your hit, you notice that like it's way louder without the power that you need to throw into it, which is nice. And you just save all your energy, right? While still putting out the volume that you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now that I'm hitting 30, I feel lazy. Like I don't want to
Yeah,
I get tired.
pretty much. It's all technique at the point
Yeah.
you get older. You're like, I can't start like throwing my arms in this anymore. Like you're just gassed out by the second song or whatever.
I gotta find workarounds.
Yeah, seriously.
How little effort can I put into playing this lick to make it sound as good as it was when I put all the effort into it? That's the end goal.
Yeah, exactly.
I said that to one of my friends in another band. He like came and watched us jam one time, and he was like, "Dude," he's like, "Where are all the blast beats?" I was like, "I'm not playing blast beats." He was like, "You gotta play." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not playing blast beats. I'm gonna play the easiest thing I can play that sounds as good as it can."
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to have fun. Like, I'm not trying to impress all these metal drummers out here. I'm just trying to be chill.
I feel you, man.
Dude, it's a struggle.
Seriously. Anytime you hear blast beat, it's like you might as well just throw on your running pants because you're just like, okay, well, here's the marathon.
Here it is. That's why when I hear you play, I'm like, damn, dude, he's like ripping all these blast beats out here. He's got like hammer blasts going on. You throw like that triplet, like that da 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 da, and I'm like, oh shit, like this is crazy. How's he do a whole set? Because it feels like Encased in Chrome, from start to finish, I think 70% of it's blast beats.
Yeah, pretty much. We up the blast beats in that EP for sure. And it's funny thing that you say that because like the record that we're working on, it's just even faster blast beat. Like when you tour with End and then you see like their drummer, and it wasn't even Billy Reimer like when on that tour when we came, right? It was Matt, and I'm just like, I can't believe you can blast beat that fast and hit like extremely hard. Like he's raising that snare stick like just as high as his head. And I've never seen that before. Like a lot of guys are doing like finger technique, right? Like just chilling there. Like have you ever seen a Dark Funeral? That dude can blast beat so fast, and like his kicks are just like machine gun style. But he's just chilling there. Like he could like. He looks like he's having like a sip of tea, like when he's blasting. But then when you watch Matt play, like he looks like he's like axing like a giant log, like a fireman. Like it was so crazy to watch that every night, and just perfect and on time too. And he posted a YouTube video of him playing one End song live, and when you like play it with the actual song, he's like exactly on time. And he actually, I think one moment in that video, he actually plays it faster than the actual song. And I'm just like, where's this energy, like power coming from? And barely breaking a sweat. Just like, come on.
Yeah. When you watch people like that, like when you watch like, I mean, even Billy Reimer is like, he's close to 40, right?
Yeah.
So you watch somebody like him or some of these dudes like Dark Funeral, those dudes are not young.
No.
Those are like dads.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I saw them with Cannibal Corpse in Montreal a couple months ago.
Same, yeah.
And I was like, I don't really listen to black metal very much, but I knew Dark Funeral was like a great band. So I think they impressed me more than Cannibal. Like Cannibal Corpse is fucking awesome, but their whole performance was so clean,
right?
And like, I don't know, it blew my mind. Like I bought a shirt. I was like, you just made a new fan. I don't even know how to thank y'all for being so good.
Yeah, seriously, it was very mesmerizing for me.
Mesmerizing and satanic.
Yeah, yeah. Like this execution is like perfect.
I mean, I guess Hail Satan. I don't know.
Like, it's straight up. Like, where do I buy makeup now?
I bought this shirt and like I grew up very Christian. My whole family's still like pretty Southern Christian.
Yeah. And
so I bought this shirt. It has at least 6 pentagrams on it. And it's like, next family gathering, can't wear that one.
Yeah.
That one's out.
I get you. I get what you mean, man. Like my parents are like, we're not necessarily religious, but they are very old school and very traditional. So even just like when they hear our music, like when we practice or whatever, it's like growing up the years, like why is the vocals like that? Like what was he? Does he not want people to like know what he's saying? And I was just like, it's hard to explain, but there's musical ways in it. And then it's funny because like they literally have heard us like start our very first heavy band to like Trench now, right? And then even my mom would be like, oh wow, like the vocals sound really good in this song, like the screaming has like that nice pitch and stuff like that. And I'm like, see, you just gotta like torture people with this music until they realize that there's a difference.
Yes. Slowly wear them down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened to my parents too. When I showed them Under Oath for the first time, I was like 12.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is a Christian band.
Yeah.
They were at the time. And then my parents are like, but why is he screaming?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's screaming about Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
He just loves Jesus. He has to scream.
Yeah.
So, but now both my parents, like they've seen me play in all my like bands growing up. And my dad now goes to shows to see like Meshuggah and
Oh, way.
yeah, like he's like, I'm going to see Spirit Box. I was
Crazy.
like, why? Like, you listen to Spirit Box? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Seriously. Yeah, all of a sudden.
But yeah, my dad's cool now, I guess.
Yeah.
You reach an age where your parents become cool at some point or something. I don't know.
I feel you.
You guys came out with Encased in Chrome 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Imminent Power Looming came out in 2021.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
With the video.
Yes. It was either really early this year or just late last year or something like that.
Yeah. You know, I've really been spinning the Encased in Chrome. The whole discography is really cool to hear you guys from that first like single and EP to where it is now. It has a nice kind of evolution, and to hear that you guys are doing faster stuff now, I don't even understand how you're going to do that, but I can't wait to hear it. What else do you guys have coming up in the next year? Y'all did quite a bit of playing and touring with End and Misery Signals, which is awesome, and signed to New Damage. Congratulations, by the way.
Appreciate it.
What do y'all have coming up in the next year?
We are doing a lot of writing. We're pretty much working on a full length
Nice.
right now, like as we speak, and really just pouring our hearts into this, like doing everything that we've done as Trench and putting it into one record, and like, but upping everything that we've done before. Like if we're going to do something that we did in Blossom or like Gift of Guilt, it's going to be that, but like either 10 times faster, 10 times heavier, just that formula, just always trying to progress from where we last like finished writing the last record. So that is our main focus. And then we're also just trying to play as many shows as possible, like get out, be on the road as much as possible. So yeah, just all of that is in the works right now. But we're very strict on it. Hopefully next year will just be like nonstop gigging, because that's what we want to do.
So y'all want to go like full on tour nonstop?
Yes.
Status.
Pretty
That's
much.
sick.
Yeah. Like it's so much fun, and we love doing it, and traveling, especially like especially like that's how you like know Montreal. You're like, whoa, man, I gotta go in a city and play like the coolest venue, and then like this one city has like all these other cool things to do, like aka my favorite foods. So that's why yeah, we're all pretty much down for that.
What was your favorite foods in Montreal?
Definitely the poutine, for sure. Yeah, you can ask like my band members, but like if usually anywhere we go, I'm looking at the poutine menu on wherever it is, like Kelowna or Vancouver and stuff like that. I'm like, what do you got? What do you got? And then yeah, they'll be like, you got to calm down, man. Like, look, we know you love it, but you can't eat it every day. And I was like, but dude, we're only in the city once, and it's not the same as like yesterday in Kelowna, right? Like, I'm gonna just try just at least a small, or someone like order it, and then maybe just let me try like a little bit. But then if I like it, then I'm gonna pay you for it.
So this is interesting, because what you could do is start another Instagram account that's strictly based on judging cities by the poutine that you try.
Dude, that is a good idea.
That would be
amazing. Say that it's for work rather than for me just like eating out of pleasure.
Yeah. You can justify
exactly.
to your band members like, this is part of my side hustle.
Yeah.
You're a poutine influencer.
Yeah. I love this idea.
Poutine influencer.
Yeah. Dude.
That's great.
I'm going to start this, and I thank you so much that I finally have an excuse to eat all the poutine that I want without feeling horrible about it.
I apologize to the rest of Trench in advance.
They'll be all right with it. They'll think this idea is brilliant. They'll be like, you know what? It's too good. You can't pass it out. You got to do it.
Okay, but what about trench roll?
Yeah.
It's a chip, right?
Yeah.
With poutine on the chip.
Dude, it's like you're in the band already. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do.
Don't tempt me. You guys like green?
Yes.
What is the deal with the green?
Pretty much. Well, we all like green, but how it started was our buddy Evan, who passed away like a couple years ago. He kind of came up to us and was like, "I see you guys like as a color. Like there should be a color with you guys, and I don't know why, but like I see it as green." And we're like, "Dude, we're totally down. Like everybody in this band loves green, so why not?" And then sure thing, it's now just something that we pretty much put on most of our like the things that we do, the stage and our merch and whatnot. And yeah, I'm sure maybe one day it'll slightly change, but the green will always be there. But yeah, just I don't know, man. Green, like I don't know, like our band, we do like cannabis, so you know that's green too. And
There's part of that.
yeah. So, you know, bands like Typo, like they're green and stuff like that. And it's just like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And it's cool to kind of fall in that kind of category now, right? A little bit, but yeah.
Was there like a definite where y'all sat down and were like, we're just going to be, this is like our brand, like our look?
That was pretty much when our buddy Evan told us that it looked like that. And we were like, dude, we're so
okay.
And pretty much if he says that's what he sees, because he's a legend, we're going to just take his word and just suck with it forever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like, it's really sweet that y'all keep with it, like as a way to like kind of honor him as well. That's cool.
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to Evan, bro.
All around, I'm always very impressed with what you guys put out. So
thanks.
I'm super stoked to see what y'all do in the next year. Hopefully I'll come back to Montreal.
Yes.
We'll do a coffee crawl, maybe have some poutine.
Oh yeah.
I'll take you to Bell Pro.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Just like do everything that you can only do in Montreal until I'm like absolutely sick of it, which will never happen. I'm pretty much like left my heart there and have been depressed ever since I got home, because I just 2 days there is not enough. And I didn't even know that like it had such like a like European vibe in moments, you know, like old Montreal. Like so I've been to Amsterdam and Berlin before, and I was just like, I love the scenery of this stuff, like the old structure, like architect and whatnot, and cobblestone roads and whatnot. And when I went to old Montreal at nighttime and checked out like the church by there, I was like, dude, this is so European vibes. And also like the fashion, like people there too. I feel like, and with the accents too, man, I love this. Like I could easily move there, no problem,
dude. Yes. All of Trench moves to Montreal.
Oh, please. I've been trying to say that ever since we like played there and on that tour. It's like, so boys, what do you think about we don't play Ottawa tomorrow, we can just stay in Montreal for another night? No.
Well, Tommy, this has been really fun. I'm super happy that we were able to hang out. I just have one last question for you before we go. What's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
For beans and breakdown?
Yeah.
I guess the first thing that pops up in my mind would probably be Vancouver. Like I used to live there for a couple of years. I went to school there, and that's when I had a friend who like introduced me to a lot of like heavy stuff. And I saw Nails there when they first came out with like On Silent Death in the smallest venue possible. And I saw like Runer in Vancouver before in the smallest venues too. Like, and it was crazy because I didn't know how big of a deal these bands were. And then to think that you'll never see a Nails show ever, or like, let alone like them playing like On Silent Death, like front to back. Like I look back at it and be like, I can't believe I was there in the tiniest room, like front row, all these songs playing there. So yeah, I'd say that. And I did drink a lot of coffee when I lived in Vancouver too. It's kind of like the Montreal vibe where you walk down the street and there's like 4 places to get coffee from that is just super good. So yeah, I'd have to say that.
Nice. I have never been to Vancouver. I have a friend whose girlfriend is going to school there right now.
Yeah.
And he went to visit recently. And he was like, "You have any cafes that you can suggest to me?" I gave him like a list of like 5 that I had just heard of, like that I had known were like good cafes.
Yeah.
And he went to like 3 of them. He was like, "It was the best coffee I've ever had." I was like, "You bastard."
Yeah. It's good. If you haven't been, man, highly recommend it. It's like you could skate, surf, and snowboard like all in one day. Plus, like just the scenery in general, like you get the ocean and the mountains at the same time, and like there's just like a big as culture as Montreal type style. Everybody's super friendly, and there's lots of dude. Super sick. Highly recommend it.
I definitely want to go. I do want to ski Whistler at least once.
Hell yeah.
Since I live in Canada, I feel like I kind of have to, like, to keep my Canadian card. I have to like go there and then visit Banff on the way back. So it's like I got knocked it out in one trip.
Yes, definitely. I've actually never been to Whistler before, but yeah, which is shocking. But I have been in Banff like so much. And if you've never been to Alberta, that is like a place where I tell everybody like you have to at least check out Banff, because being in the mountains that close and the drive is just, it's unreal.
Yeah. I've talked to people that have visited, and they're like, it's unbelievable, like how beautiful it is. And I've seen pictures. It's like pictures don't do it justice, but it's really beautiful in pictures.
Oh yeah.
So, well, if I really do want to take some band that I'm playing in to Calgary at some point, or bring Beans and Breakdowns to Wild Rose one day, maybe. I don't know.
That'd be so sick.
Whenever I get to Calgary, I got to visit Banff. I know there's awesome coffee in Calgary as well.
Yeah.
Phil and Seb is from Calgary.
Yeah.
And the Grizzler they're from Edmonton, but that's not too far. So
no, yeah. Come on down. We'll take you everywhere.
Nice.
You'll have a good time for sure, man.
Sick. That good Canadian hospitality.
Frickin' A.
Frickin' A, bud.
Yeah, frickin' A, bud.
Need to go down to Timmy Ho's and get you a double.
Oh yeah. Scary.
Well, Tommy, thanks again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy your Christmas feast.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very hyped. And you too, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks a bunch. Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Tommy for hanging out on the podcast. Be sure to check out Encased in Chrome, available on all listening platforms. It's an awesome LP and definitely worth a listen. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can also find more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns, or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.